A lot of people are studying hard for the SAT, but most students are not getting the results they want. And the problem is that these students are putting in a lot of work. They are studying hard, but they're just doing the wrong things. That's why in this video, I'm going to share with you guys what I have figured out as a SAT math tutor for the past 11 years. And I'm going to give you the 4-step process in which you can figure out exactly what you need to do next in order for you to hit your target score on your next SAT. So guys, we're going to go over a lot of tools and materials in this video, but don't worry, everything is going to be nicely organized inside the SAT Math Analyzer 2.0, which you can access for completely free. And the only thing I ask is that you guys just stay with me and stay focused for the next 30 seconds because you need to get a really good understanding of the whole 4-step process. Otherwise, you're going to jump around everywhere, do the wrong things, and you're going to be stuck exactly where you are at right now. And more importantly, go down below and smash the like button, and let's get started. So what most students don't realize is that how you should study for the SAT is highly dependent upon what your current score is. So for example, if you're currently scoring in the 700s, then taking the practice exams is the only thing you should be doing. However, if you're currently in the 500s, the practice exam is the last thing you should be doing. And we're going to go deeper into what you should be doing at each of these score ranges. But the very first step you need to take is for you to take the diagnostic exam and figure out exactly what your current score is. And some of you guys might be thinking, John, I already know what my current score is. Can I skip this step? And the answer is no, because we're going to use the answers you get from step 1 and apply to step 2, 3, and 4. So just go ahead and take it. It's going to give you a more accurate result and it's going to serve you for the rest of your SAT prep journey. So next, congratulations, the boring stuff is over. Let's go into the fun stuff now. Before we figure out what your current score is and dive deeper into studying strategies, we're going to go through an important step known as the performance analyzer. See, what you need to know about SAT is that you don't have to study for everything. What I mean by that is, of the 25 concepts that are tested on the SAT, you're probably good at some of them and bad at the rest of them. And what is holding your score down is what you are bad at. Meaning, getting better at what you're already good at is not going to raise your score. All of your time and effort should be allocated towards strengthening your weak concepts. But John, how am I supposed to know what I'm good at and what I'm bad at? Well, literally all you have to do is for you to get your answers from the diagnostic exam and plug it into the step number 2, which is the performance analyzer. It's not only going to grade the exam and tell you what your current score is, but more importantly, it's going to spit out exactly what you are weak on and what you need to work on next in order for you to raise your score. A big part of SAT prep, well, for me at least, is efficiency. You want to minimize the amount of effort and time you put into it and get the maximum result out. And the performance analyzer will just help you do that. And now let's move on to the step 3, which is going to be the studying strategies. You now know what your current score is and what is holding your score down. And as I said, how you should study for the SAT is really dependent upon your current score, and it can be broken down into 3 separate categories, which is going to be under 600, between 600 and 700, and 700 plus. And we go down the rabbit hole for every single score range inside step 3, so I'm not going to do it in this video. Otherwise, this video is going to be like 30 plus minutes long. So instead, I'm going to give you a quick one-line summary for each of these scoring ranges. So let's say you're scoring under 600. Here's what you need to know. For example, trust me, you have no idea what you're doing in terms of math section. You not only are weak on most of the concepts that are tested on the SAT, but more importantly, you are still shaky on the math foundations. And what I mean by foundation are going to be the basic math skills you're going to need for the SAT, which is going to be the first 5 concepts of this 25 concept list, which you can get inside the program. So you not only have to learn all the 25 concepts, but before you even get started on the advanced topics, you have to first straighten out your foundations. If you master the 25 concepts, that's going to bring you closer to the 700s. But wait, let's say you're not in the 4 or 500s. Let's say you are in the 600s, scoring like 620, 630, 640. Well, what you need to know here is that you have a decent math foundation, but you are weak on most of the concepts that are tested on the SAT. Of the 25 topics, you're probably good at maybe like 15 of them, and you're still shaky on 10 of them. And you might be thinking, John, 10 of them? That's not it. That's way too many. Maybe like 3, 4, 5 concepts. Well, from what I have seen, students tend to think that they are good at something, but in reality, they have like 70% mastery of that concept. So for example, for quadratics, a student might think that, oh, I am good at quadratics, I'm good to go on this topic. But the thing is that he is good with 70% of the concepts that are tested from the quadratics, but the 30% is still holding him down. And the scary part is that the student doesn't know that. So long story short, if you are currently in the 600 score range, you want to put extra emphasis on the concepts you are quote unquote weak on. If you have gone through step 2 inside the program, you will know exactly what they are. So whatever you're weak on, spend the extra time on mastering those concepts, and whatever you're already good at, don't ignore them, but instead just quickly brush upon them. And now if you have mastered the concepts and know the concepts inside out, and you can quickly recall every single one of them, by now you'll be scoring closer to 700, if not 700 plus. And now let's say you are in the big boys league of 700 plus, but you want to go for a 750 and even a perfect score of 800. So there are two hurdles for you to get over here. The first is that you probably have 1 or 2 or 3 concepts that you are still shaky on. Like I said before, you probably have 70% mastery of those 3 topics, but the 30% is what's holding you down and you get those questions wrong. And second, you're missing out on the hardest of the hardest questions that are tested on the SAT. Mastering the concepts alone is one thing, but mastering the hard questions for each of these topics is another. And we're going to go deeper into the topic inside the program, but that's what you need to get over. And doing so will get you to 750 plus. And now if you want to go for the perfect score of 800, what's going to hold you down is going to be these silly mistakes. You can literally solve every question. These quote unquote hard questions seem super easy, and more importantly, you're going to have like 10-15 minutes left over on the math sections. But you end up making these silly mistakes, and that's what's holding you away from the perfect score. So more details inside the program, but let's wrap up and go to the next step. So by now, you know what your current score is, you know what's holding your score down, and you know exactly how to study for the SAT so that you can get a higher score on your next exam. And literally the only thing that's holding you back now is just you. Getting a 700 plus on the math section and even a 750 plus and a perfect score is not a rocket science. You just gotta work really hard doing the right things. And for most people, including myself back in high school, I was doing the wrong things because nobody told me what the right thing was. After going to these tutoring centers and paying thousands and thousands of dollars and wasting months and months of preparation, I decided to ditch all of those and give up and study on my own. Fortunately for me, I was able to get a perfect score at the end, but nowadays there are so many students who are going through the exact same set of problems that I had gone through. So the fourth and the last step is for you to execute. Use the link below and get full access to the SAT Math Analyzer. The 4 steps inside will make SAT prep so easy, and it will take you to your target score so much faster. So give it a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next video.